If you've been trying to change your money habits, get into budgeting, pay off debt, and it hasn't been working, here's why. How's it going, everyone? Craig here with Daisy Financial Coaching, and we are passionate about helping people like you break the check to check cycle so you can finally find some peace of mind when it comes to your money. Now, on this channel, we're always talking about ways to better control your finances, to feel more confident when it comes to your money, and actually have a game plan. So if you're new, we would love it if you would subscribe and be notified when more videos like this come your way. This is going to drastically help you along your journey of financial freedom. Now, there are a lot of different ways to become debt-free. There's a lot of different ways to find that clarity and control of your money. We are firm believers that personal finance is personal. Everybody is different. And so that means your journey is going to look different from my journey, is going to look different from someone else's. But what we find after working almost a decade with people on their personal finances is that a lot of people come to us with this idea of extremism. Now, if you follow any other money gurus out there, like your Dave Ramsey's or people like that, who are very big on cut everything out of your spending, don't do anything, focus all your money on getting out of debt, and don't spend anything on anything fun, right? And I'm not saying that that is necessarily a bad plan, because truthfully, if you're trying to get out of debt, the fastest way to do it is to allocate every possible dollar that you have toward debt, right? You can get there, but it's going to be slower if we use money for other things. However, what we found is that method does not work for everyone. It works for a lot of people, myself included. When we got out of debt, that was the path I took. But life was different for me then. You know, whenever my wife and I were getting out of debt, it was just the two of us. We were newlyweds. We didn't have kids yet. And so me working extra jobs, us using all that money and not doing anything fun and just sacrificing completely for 18 months was not that bad. Or I say it's not that bad. It was hard, but it was easier because it was just the two of us. Now, as a dad of young kids, as I look back, I'm thinking, if I was trying to get out of debt right now, I'd be sacrificing things, but also these are prime years. And so I'd be worried about missing out on time when they were toddlers, or as right now they're 9 and 8 years old, missing out on these prime years with my kids, not getting to do fun things because we are just so scorched earth and not spending anything, that during those times, we don't get to go out and spend money and do that stuff. Now, you can still enjoy time with family without spending money. However, vacations, getting to go out to nice dinners, all of those things would have to go to the wayside. And I know a lot of parents struggle with that. And so what happens is when that becomes a problem is we start trying to balance those things in, then that can lead to burnout. So whether you have kids, whether you are single, whether you are newlyweds like we were, or whether you're empty nesters, wherever you are in the path, sometimes the extreme approach can lead to burnout. That's what we see when people come to us. They've tried the beans and rice methodology. They've tried the scorched earth, don't spend a dime on anything. And all it did was maybe they were laser focused for a month or two, and then it just fell to the wayside. And they're beating themselves up. And maybe they try again, and then they fall off. And then they try again, and they fall off. And suddenly, it's like you said, we beat ourselves up. We start negatively thinking on ourselves that we're failures. We can't do this. We're just not good with money. There's something wrong with me. When truthfully, it's just that system, that process just probably isn't the right fit for you. So if this is resonating with you, just know that that is probably why. It's probably because you're trying to fit yourself into a regiment that is not lining up with you and your core values. It's not lining up with what your priorities are, what is important to you. Doing someone else's plan is not going to be motivating. You have to decide, what does my plan look like? Scorched earth extremism is going to lead to burnout for a lot of people. It's just like diets. We need cheat days. So if you're on a diet, having those cheat days where you can, instead of saying, I'm never going to eat fast food again, or I'm never going to eat a dessert again, once a week or a couple times a month, allowing yourself to do that is going to make the diet stick more long term. Otherwise, you run into the problem of yo-yo dieting, where you go all out. I'm not eating anything except for lettuce for a month, or for the next 6 months, or however long. And then you have a stressful day. or something goes wrong, or you are slammed with soccer practice, followed by baseball games, followed by whatever. And so you roll through a drive-through, and then all you do is you feel guilty because you fell off your diet, or you go into binge eating to compensate. And so you are extreme. And then when you fall off, it's just like, well, screw it. I might as well just go ahead and eat whatever I want now. And you roll into the binging. The same thing happens with our money. If we are too extreme beyond what we can do, we're going to yo-yo. We're going to go extreme for a while, and then we're going to fall off, and the wheels are going to fall off. And we're going to have one of those months where the water heater breaks, or there's just expenses. The kids have fundraisers, and all of a sudden your budget's shot, and it's just, screw this. I'm not going to do it anymore. And whether intentionally or not, then we look down 3 months from now, and all of a sudden we haven't been budgeting. We've been falling off. We've racked up more debt than what we started with. So the key here is finding what works for you. How extreme do you want to be? You know yourself better than anybody, better than me, better than the Dave Ramseys, anybody who's speaking out there into financial advice. All of that advice is great. It's just a matter of what works for you. They are speaking to the masses when they're telling you to follow baby steps or do the extreme, or to invest in real estate. Whatever financial advice you're finding on the internet, it's to the masses, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right fit for you. So what is your plan? What is your method? And what I recommend on this is sitting down, if you're married, with your spouse and deciding, what are our priorities? What is important to us? So when you're looking at your debt payoff journey, if you're like, okay, we could pay off our debt in, let's just say, 2 years. Well, if we want to vacation, you're like, we got kids and I want to be able to take them to Disney World, whatever it is, then just, are you okay with it now taking 2.5 years instead of 2 years? And if that's okay with you, then that's okay. The key here is being proactive, having a plan, and following through with it. What we don't want to do is just be reactive, blow money all over the place, and then just be frustrated that we didn't make progress on our debt, and then also still feel like we were restricting our spending and not being able to do the things we want to do. So if extremism is your way, if you're like, that's my way of getting out of debt, if I spend anything on something else, then I'm just going to roll down that hill. I have to go all in or all out. Do it. If you're someone who's tried the extreme approach and it just hasn't worked, and you're looking for what your plan looks like, that's what you need to find. And we can help with that. If you don't know where to even begin with that, what does that look like for me? What does my budget need to look like so that we are making progress and balancing life in there as well? Our team can help. In the description below, we always have a link to meet with one of our coaches. It's just a 20-minute free call where we'll get to know you. We can answer your questions. We can share what our program looks like and how it can help you finally find that clarity and control and confidence with your money. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this resonates with you. If you have been on that hamster wheel, on that yo-yo with the money, we are rooting for you. And so find the approach that works for you, and it will be a game changer for you and your finances.